Hi, my name is Neal, and I'm a naturalist living in Tallahassee, Florida.
My name is Michael, and I'm a messenger living in Tallahassee, Florida.
Hi, my name is Waylen, and I'm a teacher living in Tallahassee, Florida. We are reading from a series of autopsy and death reports on detainees who died in U.S. custody in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Autopsy number A03-51. Date of death, June 6, 2003. Decedent is a 52-year-old Iraqi male civilian detainee who was found unresponsive outside in isolation at White Horse Detainment Facility. This 52-year-old male, redacted, died as a result of asphyxia, lack of oxygen to the brain due to strangulation. Additional findings at autopsy include blunt force injuries, predominantly recent bruises on the torso and lower extremities. The abrasions encircling the left wrist are consistent with the use of restraints. Cause of death, strangulation. Manner of death, homicide.
Autopsy number ME03-504. Date of death, November 4th, 2003. An Iraqi national died while detained at the Abu Ghraib prison where he was held for interrogations by government agencies. Fractures of the ribs and a contusion of the left lung imply significant blunt force injuries of the thorax and likely resulted in impaired respiration. Interviews taken from individuals present during the interrogation indicate that a hood was placed over the head and neck of the detainee. This likely resulted in further compromise of effective respiration. Cause of death, blunt force injuries complicated by compromised respiration. Manner of death, homicide.
Autopsy number ME03-571. Date of death, November 26, 2003. This Iraqi died while in U.S. custody. The details surrounding the circumstances of the time of death are classified. Cause of death, asphyxia due to smothering and chest compression. Manner of death, homicide.
Death, April 5th, 2004. Location, Logistics Support Area, Diamond. Questioned
Death,
by Navy SEALs,
January
struggled,
6th, 2004.
interrogated, died
Location,
sleeping.
Forward
Cause of manner,
operating base
pending.
rifles.
Questioned by military
other government
intelligence.
agencies.
Died
Gagged in
during
standing
interrogation.
position.
Cause,
Cause,
asphyxia
blunt force
due to
injuries
smothering and chest
asphyxia.
compression. Manner of death, homicide.
Death, November
December
4th,
3rd,
2003.
2002.
Location, Abu
Bagram,
Ghraib.
Afghanistan.
Questioned by other
Found
government agency
unresponsive
and
and
Navy
restrained in
SEALs.
cell.
Died during
Cause,
interrogation.
pulmonary
Cause,
embolism
blunt force
due to blunt
injury
force
complicated
injuries
by
to the
compromised
leg.
respiration.
Manner of
Manner of death,
Homicide.
homicide. And we have concluding questions here.
Okay,
that
so
we've been
concluding
asked to do.
questions. Who are you? Neal?
Who are you? I'm an American citizen, a concerned one, a patriot, a lover of our people and our land, and I am a opponent of torture.
Where are you?
Okay.
Literally, like where are we right now?
Tallahassee, Florida. Are we all gonna answer these separately, or?
Let's. Yeah, well, you can just answer. Do the last one, or tell us about your location and why you chose it, Michael. Or first, Michael, just say like who you are.
My name is Michael, and I'm another human being just trying to make it. And I'm in Tallahassee, Florida, in the United States, in Lafayette Park neighborhood. And I chose the location because it's central to all my needs.
Hi, I'm Waylen. I am in Tallahassee, in my neighborhood, at my friend Michael's house down the street, in front of an azalea bush, which is a flower native to the south, something emblematic of the location we are in. It's the beginning of spring here, so the flowers are all out, and we thought it would be a good place to sit in front of a flower bush, because the image of a flower is certainly something that is, when juxtaposed with torture, very, I don't know.
It's a symbol of life rather than death.
Yeah, it's a symbol of life rather than death.
And it represents also
So
how
tell us
fragile
why you
life
think it
can
is
be.
important to reckon with torture.
Because torture is an outdated and cruel practice. There's other means to extract information. I think we've come to the point in a civilization where it's like we don't give up dated and problematic traditions or practices, then we'll never be able to move forward as a collective nation, race, species.
What do you think, Mike?
Can we cut out me clearing my throat? There are 3 words. The golden rule.
Why is it important to reckon with torture? Torture is a base form of control exerted over other people or other things. You can torture another human being, you can torture a small animal. It's the same idea of exerting yourself over someone else, causing them to feel pain and in some way deriving some sort of pleasure from that control. Now, whether to say that all the members of Guantanamo Bay who were enacting these torture methods were deriving some sort of pleasure from it is impossible, but the fact is the practice itself needs to end, and in order for it to end, people need to become more educated about it. So reckoning with torture is more of just making people understand and become aware of these practices, and doing so in a world where people are inundated with media and sensationalism, and yet the practices that go on in our own country's military in many ways are filtered through a sort of military industrial complex that glorifies what the military does. And it's not to say that what the military does is not worthy of glorification, but torture is something that needs to end, and we cannot end it unless we know that it's happening and we know the horrors of it.
I also like to add that, if this is the land of the free, shouldn't we extend our ideals and our, a fundamental ideal I think that Americans have? Should we not, expand that overseas, take that with our actions everywhere? And I think the Geneva Convention outlawed torture, and we, the United States was a big proponent of pushing for human rights efforts around the world, and I think we need to be a shining example of
Hold
that
ourselves
in
to
the
the
world.
same sort of
Exactly.
standard that we propose for others to keep.
And I think that it's also important that while people that represent our country, the people wearing our uniform, indeed enacted these methods of torture, I think it's important for the rest of the world to know that people on the ground here don't all agree with that, and we solidarity.
Exactly.
One love.
Good. Ugh!